You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip-hop and sports live.
Knicks Talk Nation with your host, Steals the Great, live on Bars and Hoops Radio.
New York City, we back, the Big Apple, NY. The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach with a ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for sure. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch a crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove you get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is the city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue, better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. New York City, sing it with me. Steals the Great, Hard Will, Knicks Talk Nation Radio. We here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Season is over. Yes, indeed, the season is over. But like I said before, this ain't a show that's based off of what's going on this season. This is something that's going to be everlasting. You know what I mean? Like, as the Knicks fan, the season is never over. You know what I mean? It's always something going on, and it's always something to talk about, man. You know what I mean? And we here to bring it to you. You heard? Word up, man. So before we get into it, man, Hardwell, man, how was your birthday weekend, man? You was out there turning up and everything. I seen you everywhere, boy. Talk about it.
It was beautiful, everything we went through with the pen. We've been in the crib all this time, so I had to, do it up for my birthday. It was nice, man. I feel blessed from, seeing another year.
No question. Complain. It's always a blessing, man. For real, man. Shout out to you, man, for going out and living your best life, man. Enjoying your birthday. You know what I mean?
Thank you, bro. How was your week, though?
My week was great, man. We had a great turnout for our first annual, barbecue, man. A lot of people came through, showed love, man. Shout out to those that won those great gifts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The raffle giveaway was great, tremendous. People walked away with a PS5, a MacBook Pro, and a bottle of Ace of Spades for them fancy drinkers, man. So the week was well, you know what I mean? The week leading up to today was relaxing. For those that do know, I did take a little time off, from the station in regards to Friday and Sunday, just to regroup and get myself in a different headspace, man. To head back into this summer, as far as the station is concerned, as far as creating content is concerned, man. It was a good week, and I'm gonna take off another week as well, man. So I got another week to regroup, add some new things to what we're doing at the station, man, and work with these interns, man. We got 8 great interns, man, that's out here putting in work. I'm talking about they putting in work. You got people that's ready to jump on radio right now. You got people that's tight with scheduling. You got people that's tight with a lot of things, man, and I'm happy to have them working with us here at Bars and Hoops Radio, man. So my week has been great, man, to answer your question in short. And we're going to have a great show today, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, yes, the season is over. But like I said, we're not fair weather Knick fans. At the end of the day, man, the season is never over in Knickland. It's never over in New York. You know what I mean? That team on the other side of things is playing. Well, they just finished up their game tonight. We ain't going to get to all of that, but they did, handle their business. And, New York is happy right now, at least somewhere in New York. You know what I mean? But let's get to our team, right? You know what I mean? First and foremost, man, shout out and congratulations to Coach Tibbs, man. Takes home the 2020-2021 NBA Coach of the Year honors. You know what I mean? He beat out Marcus Williams and he beat out Quinn Snyder. Yeah, I
You
did.
called it.
What's your thoughts on that though?
Yo, I said it when I seen it. I said, I gotta tell Stills, you called it. I didn't think, they was gonna give it to him
Uh-huh.
because you know how it is,
What's
you
that?
know, just with Phoenix doing what they doing too.
Uh-huh.
But I'm a Knicks fan, so I'm glad they gave it to Tibbs. And you called it. I didn't think they was gonna give it to him. And I remember you was like, "Yo, he deserved it. There's no reason why he shouldn't get it." And I was reading today, and they was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we haven't been to the playoffs in 8 years, 9
Come
years."
on. 8-9 years?
Yeah.
He doesn't have half of the talent that Quinn Snyder has or Monty Williams has in Utah or Phoenix. You look at the rosters up and down. In Utah, you got Rudy Gobert, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Joel Ingles, you got guys that are capable of doing numbers. You got Jordan Clarkson coming off the bench killing this year. They got a decent roster and they got a great coach. Quinn Snyder's a great coach. He was a great coach in college. You know what I mean? You look at Phoenix.
He was.
Monty Williams got Chris Paul, a floor general, crafty veteran. Everywhere he's gone, the team has improved. Look what he did in OKC last year. He came over to a young Phoenix team led by Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, carried them over the hump. That was a big reason why Monty Williams was successful, man. Cameron Payne stepped up this year. Mikal Bridges, who was also a top 12 pick for the
But it could
Phoenix.
have went either way, Stills. You know why?
Why?
Because they're still playing.
They are,
And
but
they took out the Lakers.
but
So
look
for
at
them
the
to give it to Tibbs, I'm just happy he got it. I mean, yeah, the talent is there. That was your point from before. It
yes,
proves why they gave it to him.
yes,
It proves. So that was cool, if you
yes,
ask me.
yes. And shout out to Jay Remy on the check-in. My
Yeah,
brother,
what
what's going
up?
on, man?
What
What's
up,
good?
my brother? How are you?
How you feeling, champ?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great, man.
Okay.
Happy to see you.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
to be here.
Yo, Jay Remy, this is my partner right here in crime, man. Hard Will, you know what I'm saying? Co-host
Peace.
Knicks Talk Nation Radio. You know what I
Peace,
mean?
Jay.
We sitting here, we talking about this whole Coach Tibbs bringing home the Coach of the Year award, man. What you think about that, man?
I think it was well deserved. I was actually talking to my son about it the other day. I think it was well deserved to an extent. Someone had to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that it was well deserved to an extent. I'm not gonna pick apart the criteria, but I think it was well deserved.
And shout out to Tibbs, man. He's the third coach in Knicks history to win this honor. Back in 1970, Red Holzman won it. Back in 1993, Pat Riley won it. And this year, Tom Thibodeau won it in 2021. You know what I mean? So,
I think that makes it so special because remember I mentioned that to you in the text. When we were talking about underachieve, overachieve. I mentioned this is Tom Thibodeau's third job.
Yes.
And the more you bounce around the jobs, the more people start losing their faith they have in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I think that's another reason why it boosted his chances and points to get the award.
Yes. And shout out to Todd Moonjan out there, man. Congrats. Well deserved. That's a fact. Go ahead,
Well, I think it could have went either way as well because Phoenix haven't been here in a long time too. So for them to give it to him, that's what my point I was making. When we was saying before, but when you said he was gonna get it, it was close. It was like one of those races where the horse nose is passing the finish line by this much on him. It was close, man, because they took out the Lakers. I mean, when did it finish? They just put that out. That was new. He just got it.
Yeah, he just got it.
So they could have judged that either way. That's what I mean by being close.
Yeah, but I still, and I always felt this. I was like, yes, Monty Williams is doing a hell of a job, but he also has talent. Look at the Knicks roster, and we got exposed in the playoffs. Make no mistakes about it. We got exposed coaching wise, and we got exposed talent wise. So that magnified even more the job.
But they dethroned the king too. They didn't throw the king. They took out LeBron.
But see, they was a little injured though. No, and they was injured, man. AD was hurt, but I know no excuses. No excuses. They ran him out the gym. I think they would have beat them even if AD wasn't hurt. because
Paul was hurt too. Paul was hurt too. He's hurt too.
Yeah, he still is hurt. Yep. And the rest of the Phoenix bench stepped up, but they do have the players, man. They got the players, so I think that's why they gave Tibbs the edge, because the Knicks, nobody expected the Knicks to win more than what was they said 27 games. I was the only one that said 40. And
so let's be honest.
Looking at me crazy.
He won because the players aren't on that tier, and that's your main point of you keep going back to the player point, and I agree all the way because it's Tibbs' strategy of defense, it's Tibbs' strategy in general that basically got the Knicks over the hump.
100%.
Can't take it away from the players, no credit away from the players, but Randle, we see what happened in the playoffs, so it kind of showed. We'll get to that. We definitely
gonna get to that. So let's get to the other side that Jay Remy was talking about, right? Because me and him had a long conversation on Facebook about all of this. So this is the burning question of this segment, right? Tibbs' reputation has always been defense. After watching the Knicks' performance on offense in the playoffs, where does he need to improve in order for this team to play championship caliber basketball?
He needs to he needs to know how to rest his players a little bit more.
Shout out to Todd. Yes, I kept the receipts for that. 40 wins.
And what else could Tibbs had a lot of ways to improve on. I mean, I think instead of us saying just Tibbs improved the team, we need a better team. Like we need better players.
Yes.
And replaces some of the players. I think
it'll be better. That is true. But all right. So for me, from what I've seen just in the playoffs and throughout some points in times in the season, Tibbs, they did, and a lot of people. I used to be a big Melo fan, and I still am a Melo fan. And guys like my guy Todd, you know what I mean? He used to get on me for the ISO, like, yo, Melo's ISO basketball ain't gonna get us nowhere. It was a lot of ISO basketball with Julius Randle throughout the season and in the playoffs, and it caught up to us. They didn't have a lot of ball movement as well on offense. And his rotations needed to be deeper. Like, he didn't really trust some of his players. Like, look at how quickly he played in that last game where they lost. He came with a different type of energy, and he put pressure on the Hawks, but it was too late. You kept him on the bench all this time. And then when you made the adjustment to put Derrick Rose into the starting lineup, you killed the momentum of the second unit that thrived off of Derrick Rose. That was our advantage, was our second unit. You know what I mean?
I wanted to say something about that again too, because I remember I was saying I was against you so much about it on the last show, and I thought about it, and I said I kind of see your point a little more because it took away from our chemistry.
Yeah, it killed the
situation. But I still feel that if even though he didn't even give him a chance, and I seen they just recently had some articles talking about it, like his dad was saying he was even shocked that they didn't even give him a chance to come off the bench. And I felt the same way. So I didn't want to declare that up about the Peyton. What I said about Peyton was I did say on the last show that I expected him to still come off the bench and then still produce then. You know what I mean? Still was like, if you was, because it happens when, in the playoffs, they switch the lineup still. That's all that's really what happened.
But, all right, so this is Todd's question. He said, do you believe Tibbs should have sent Peyton back to the starting lineup?
So
no, I don't.
Steve, I don't. Can I share a portion?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him talk first.
Go ahead, Jay.
Yo, can I share a portion of
let's
how
go.
I feel about that?
Come on, let's go. That's what you're here for.
All right, bet. So I think he was out coached from the perspective of it's kind of like a gift and a curse. I think he was out coached and gifted at the same time because we have a team full of nothing but forwards, and two of our best offensive players are strictly going left. RJ and Julius, they can have Harlem Globetrotter jerseys on from half court until they get to the paint, and as soon as they get to the paint and their jerseys switch back to the Knicks, they're going left. No matter what happens, they're going left.
Yes.
And putting the ball all day long. So their strength against this particular Atlanta Hawks team was their size. And even if they went left all day, they should have been attacking the paint and getting to the free throw line all day long, not trying to outshoot the Atlanta Hawks.
I agree.
Besides Clint Capella, I think RJ was the next tallest person on the court next to Clint Capella. Clint Capella was the tallest person the Hawks got.
Yeah, he was, and I agree wholeheartedly.
The defense was stacked to stop Randle, right?
Yes.
So if they stacked the defense to stop Randle when they swing the ball, somebody was open and was getting the shots. People wasn't making the shots.
That's a fact too. That's a fact.
Kind of like what I said, we need players. So he kind of said something similar, like it's not even about, all about Tibbs or like, I mean, the players got to play. Tibbs didn't really mess up what we had going in reference to like which your point was, like Tibbs got the coach of the year for a reason. Because he turned everything around. We did it with a bunch of players that we didn't expect to even do that with.
That's a fact.
So, in reference to the question, I don't know if Peyton would have been a good thing to start again. I think he should have been able to come off the bench and still produce, if you ask me. That's just my take on it.
I think a big mistake was, and I'll share the rest of my argument later on, but I think a big mistake was taking Derrick Rose and putting him in the starting lineup because,
of course,
he was that boost of energy and ran the second unit exactly how it needed to be boosted.
I have a question for you for that. Do you think if Derrick Rose produced that many points when he switched him in the starting lineup, and this has been my whole point when we talk about this, do you think Peyton would have produced how much points we would have lost by if he would have kept Peyton in the lineup, but without those 30 points? Because then automatically Rose scored those points in the first quarter. If you're watching the game, I'm just going by what happened in the game. I'm not saying that I didn't coach the game and take him completely out of the rotation. I felt like he should have still got run. But if Tibbs, the coach of the year, took him completely out the rotation, it had to be for a reason. Hold on. Look, let me just ask Jay this. Jay, do you think that we would have won that game if Rose came in and had 30 points? And Peyton is not giving us 15 points if we keep him in the lineup.
I'd be lying to you if I gave you that answer from the heart, because I can't answer that question. That's a very good question, and I can't honestly wholeheartedly say we would have won the game, but I think we would have had a better shot at winning the game if they left Derrick Rose coming off the bench.
That's a lot of points to substitute. That's why you explained the way why you can't say that like that, because you substituting a lot of points.
But here's a great point that Todd brought up, and shout out to Todd Mungeon in the def. He's in the chat. He said Peyton was our primary on-ball defender who stayed on most games. He was definitely our primary defender. He was running around chasing people, and it makes a difference. You shake your head, Hardwell, but you can't have all these stars in the lineup together. like the Nets. He was a defender. He played hard on defense. You can't take that away from him. He was the guy that would chase the best player around. He would get some lucky steals occasionally and create havoc. He may go to the basket and miss a layup, but he gave you that effort on defense. And again, he kept him in the starting lineup the whole season. He played him the whole season in that role. Why change it now when that led you to a 40-win season? Why change it up now and try to get cute? Like, it just didn't make any sense. And it just
Trae Young did that. And he's still doing it. I'm just telling you what caused it.
He was cooking Derrick Rose too.
Yeah, but like when we talked about it,
they swept the Hawks during the season.
Yeah, it's like but it's because Julius Randle averaged all those points during the regular season.
But the Hawks were also hurt too. Let's keep it a buck.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They were hurt. They were hurt the whole season. And Nate McMillan wasn't their coach during the season, except for that last game when they were supposed to break the Knicks streak that game. And I tell you, I don't come on here and I don't wear orange and blue glasses. The Knicks were supposed to lose that last game that they played to the Atlanta Hawks. And once Trae Young got hurt, the game switched, the momentum changed, and they ended up coming back and winning that game.
But the main reason why they switched them, I think, was because, like I said, and I called it before they switched him. And I didn't have nothing to do with it. I called. I said he's coming out the starting lineup, and he did. It was because, he couldn't stop him. Rose couldn't stop him, but it was multiple people guarding him. Bullock was guarding him. Different people was guarding him. Bullock actually did an all right job on him one game. But the problem was Rose was putting up points. So as a coach, he probably felt like, okay, nobody's stopping him, but he's putting up points to match his points to even out the playing field. Randle didn't give us no production.
Nothing.
If Randle give us production, we're in those games. Look at how many shots he still took. And just like the game I watched today, not to talk about the Knicks, the Bucks. This guy keeps shooting the ball.
Who's that?
He's not making the shot on the Bucks. My man is not making the shots. How many shots he took today? He's not making the shots.
Man. Yes, indeed. We see you, champ.
You know what I mean? You can't keep shooting the ball. He's not making the shot, man. He's not, you can't keep shooting. And that's how it go in basketball. Pass the ball. Julius Randle was forcing his hand. He was forcing his hand. I'm not even talking about Giannis. I'm talking about
Chris Middleton.
Yes. He kept on forcing his hand, and that's why they lost. That's not basketball. The Knicks, Randle did the same thing.
Yes.
Randle kept forcing his hand, and other people could have got involved throughout those shots.
So, and I'm glad that you brought up Julius Randle, because now this is the meat and potatoes of this conversation, man. Julius Randle. Are you married to him moving forward? Or are you looking to use him as a piece to bring what exactly the team needs moving forward? Because to me,
can I share the second part?
Of course, yes. Let's go.
All right. So my second part of this, I'm gonna need at least like a minute and 20 seconds.
Let's go. This is a conversation.
20 seconds. But here's what they do.
Let's go.
They need to pick up at least two 3-and-D players. And I think I said to Steve, I said Tim Hardaway, and I think I said one other player. I forget one of the 3-and-D players. They need 2 3-and-D players to pick up that can lock down on D, and they can hit those spot up 3-pointers. The second person they pick up. Right.
So he said Tim Hardaway.
He said Tim Hardaway.
Hold on.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Let's go, Jay. Come on.
Yeah, I said Tim Hardaway.
No.
And I forget who the second person was, but whatever. Let's just pretend like he's player B. And I also said in free agency, as a restricted free agent, you pick up Lonzo Ball. Here's why. And this goes to the RJ Barrett question. Lonzo Ball can go back to playing his original position that he played at Cal. He can facilitate. He can run an actual system. He can get the strengths. He can get the strengths out of other players that we still have questions about, like RJ Barrett, like Randle, like Obi. The players that we have question marks about, we don't have a true point guard that can be that offensive coach on the floor or that system coach on the floor that can help the players develop and help them strengthen their strengths and produce points on the court. So
and he plays defense.
My entire point is pick up Lonzo Ball, ban his father from the arena. Ban him from the arena, put a gag order, put him somewhere in a box somewhere, keep his father far away, but pick up Lonzo Ball, put him on a 3-year deal, pay him $25 million a year on 3 years, make the 30-year team option so you're not married to him. Let him see if he can get the best out of RJ Barrett, out of Obi Toppin, and out of Randle. And don't forget, him and Randle have a little bit of chemistry from those 40 or 50 games they played together in New Orleans. So that's my idea.
Oh, God. And shout out to Todd. So Todd said, if we don't get Lonzo, Kyle Lowry. What's your thoughts on that? And just to give you a breakdown of who the free agents are, Derrick Rose, we need to do something with him. You re-signing him or you let him go? Okay.
Yeah, I'm re-signing Derrick Rose because he's an OG. And he's a very good brother. You could tell how he is with the guys. And I was watching something with Tibbs, and he was just talking about that, about how the guys were. And you got to remember what they did. Nobody expected them to do what they did. So it had to be some special things going on.
Yes.
So let's bring back the guys who helped that happen and make sure we don't bring in no guys that's going to change that. That's the key part to what we got to worry about moving forward. Let's protect what we have. You know what I mean? Still.
Okay.
And Jay, like, right, Jay? We got to protect the chemistry because
Lonzo not gonna rattle the cage.
No, he ain't. You know why? Because he passed the ball. He passes. His jump shot got better.
Yes.
And he not too much. And still, remember, we said that on another show. I said that I would take Ball because he's not bringing in too much offense to, stop Julius' production.
Yes.
I want to keep Julius. He's not a Batman, though, Stills. I just want to say that before I pass it. He's not a Batman. He's a Robin. He's a Robin.
In the East, remember, they're in the East. So that not only that puts them to a distinct advantage in the East. Because who's in the East? LaMelo's up and coming. Then you got Westbrook, who's he's hitting all day long. Then you got Kyle Lowry. Kyrie Irving. And then what? And then that's what I'm saying. Defensively, Lonzo could guard all those players. Plus, he can guard Ben Simmons too.
All right. So here's my issue with Lonzo Ball. Right. I love him. I would love to have him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I won't take him. The problem I have with Lonzo Ball is that he can't shoot. You know what I mean? He's like
got better.
It got better. He can't shoot. In a league where you got to be able to shoot. Look at Trae Young. He made us pay. You know what I mean? When dudes lag off of him, he gonna hit the open shot. Like Lonzo Ball doesn't have that. He's a great facilitator. But like Jay Remy said, if you're gonna bring Lonzo Ball in, you gotta have some 3-and-D guys for real. Because he's not gonna knock down any open shots for us, and it's gonna hinder our offense. That's the only issue I have with him, is that he can't shoot. You know what I mean? Some other guys out there. Mike Conley Jr. is out there. Dennis Schroeder's out there.
But you know why he's better? Then he may be better because his name keeps coming up, because you got to remember, too much offense is going to take away from other guys, and the other guys is more powerful than that position far as shooting wise on our team. I think, and that may be better for a point guard position on our team if we trying to protect our chemistry. That's the whole point of trying to put somebody in like him. Not saying that we can't just go overboard with a great offensive player, but we have to look at a player who's going to be more passive and could throw great alley-oops to Mitchell Robinson and Noel. Because before Mitchell got hurt, that was our main play. Remember, Peyton used to throw that alley-oop all season. All of them throw that little alley-oop before they, that's what they play was.
Oh, yeah.
Norman Powell was the other player I mentioned.
Norman Powell, yes. He's also a free agent. Devontae Graham is also a free agent. Victor Oladipo is a free agent. Chris Paul is opting out of his deal in Phoenix.
Now that's a game changer.
He said that? Yes, breaking news? Is that breaking news?
Yeah, he's opting out.
He's opting out.
Yeah, he giving up $40 million. What he wants to do is get a multi-year deal. Now, would Phoenix? Now that's the thing. Can Phoenix give him a multi-year deal with Devin Booker there? They got to pay DeAndre Ayton. Are they going to be able to pay him what he wants?
He wants 3 years, $100 million.
3 years, at least $100 million.
Yeah.
So that opens the door now to.
That's what I'm saying though. Like you brought up a good point, bro, about wanting points out of Lonzo. That was a really good point. But I'll take Lonzo not giving us 13 points a game if Lonzo can come in and get RJ in the right spots and get Randle in the right spots and get OB in the right spots to each give them 8 to 9 more points per game because of how effective he'll be at facilitating and getting.
What if they play off of him? What if they play off of him and they stay home and be like, you know what? Give him room. He's not going to shoot the ball. Then what?
He improved with his jumper, but the other upside to what he has is he has defense. So with his passing ability, like Jay just said, his passing ability and his defense ability, it makes him worth really putting in our mix, because too much we don't need. With them two attributes right there, is perfect, if you ask me. Now, he has a long reach. He know how to play defense, so he should know how to close out on defense.
Yes.
And play on those guards that can shoot the ball. So I think he's a great fit.
So
I do.
all right. So if you had
still brought up a good point, but that's where Tibbs need to come in, and Tibbs needs an offensive coordinator on his coaching staff can help them in the situations where no one's guarding him outside of 15 feet because they don't think that he's gonna shoot. So I think that's where the offensive coordinator being on the coaching staff could facilitate. I think about Coach Carter. Coach Carter, what was his rule? Run.
Yeah.
Run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So keep running until somebody get open. As long as the ball is in Lonzo's hands, he gonna find somebody.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So here go a list of other guys that's available. Kawhi Leonard. He's definitely gonna be available this season.
Think he's staying at LA?
He got opt out. Nah, I think he's gonna opt out. I don't think that they got lucky by beating Dallas. I ain't gonna lie. Dallas had them on the ropes and let them go because KP was, invisible man in that series. He didn't help Luka at all. DeMar DeRozan is also going to be a free agent.
But the Kawhi,
Andre Drummond, huh?
But with Kawhi, I think it's going to depend on how it turns out if he moves.
Yeah,
he's still playing, so we have to see what he does. He's going to stay in Cali if he wins. Regardless, he should stay in Cali because he's from Cali. Yeah, he's from Cali. DeMar DeRozan may be a good piece. I don't know.
Andre Drummond and Mitchell Robinson. And Mitchell Robinson is a restricted free agent.
I take Mitch back.
You take Mitch back. This is where
run it back. Run it. I'm telling you this. I agree with you, bro. Run it back. Pick up 2, 3-and-D players and get Lonzo. That's like I don't think there's like any kind of magic or secret. Like that. Spend $30 million. That's
all right. So just to go back to my question earlier. So are you married to Julius Randle moving forward? Because y'all saying run it back.
I think
he proved.
Think we don't know.
Huh?
He is a Robin.
I think we don't know. I think we need to date for one more year with a true point guard.
Did you see what he posted? Did you see what Julius Randle post? He said
trusting the process.
He never been there on the stage, and he think it's a great learning experience. And
Hardwell, don't give me that, man.
No, I'm about to tell you what I think about it.
Never been there.
He's a Robin, man.
Devin Booker never been there.
No, let's just think about the East. First of all, we have to get out the East, and look, this is how we got to think. If we got to go against these guys that we watching on TV right now, we need a Batman. Let's keep it real.
That's a fact.
Julius Randle's not a Batman. This is my take on it. We need to bring in somebody who could be our number one option.
Who is that?
I don't know. We got to figure that out.
I just gave you.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're unless they get Kawhi, which I don't think is happening. I don't think there's a Batman available. So what I'm saying is, give me a team of 3 Robins.
All right. So here we go. Right. So let's just run down what Julius Randle has accomplished this year. Most improved player honors. Boom. First time All-Star. Boom. Career highs in points at 24 a game, rebounds at 10 a game, and 6 assists per game. He shot 81% from the free throw line. That's also a career high. And he shot 41% from three-point range this season. That's also a career high. He shot 41% for a power forward from three-point range. That's impressive. Now, in the playoffs, all of that was exposed. It showed that he couldn't adjust his game to what they were doing to him. It also exposed the fact that Tibbs couldn't make adjustments to help his best player get out of trouble and help the Knicks get going. And that was telltale signs for me. And like you said, we need a Batman. But in order to get a Batman, like I said, it's probably not in free agency. We're not going to get it in free agency. We got shout out to Robert Paul. We got to break some eggs and make an omelet. We got a whole lot of eggs. We got draft picks. That's ours. That's not ours. We got young talent that is movable. And I know a lot of y'all fans out there that may not agree with me that goes back to the Melo trade and say, no, we can't do that again. Let's just do everything homegrown. And man, listen, right now we're in the same position that the Nets were in a couple of years ago before they made drastic changes. They got some good free agents in KD and Kyrie, but they also had to break some eggs to bring in a guy like Harden.
See, that's what I don't want to happen, because if you think
you don't
about
want that to happen,
the Nets got their attention from Gerald Levert, from Jared Allen, from the other guard. What's his name? They got traded. I'm drawing a blank. The other guard. He got yeah, from the Nets.
They got rid of who was it?
Karis LeVert.
It was Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert. So what I don't want to happen is I don't want them now. If we're getting our attention now from Emmanuel Quickly, from RJ, from Irvin, from players like that. Now I don't want to see them turn around and try and blow that up to get 2 superstars. Now if they blow it up to get Harden, KD, and Kyrie, I'm all for it. But what I don't want to see happen is them turn around and try and blow it up to get fucking Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett.
You said Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Do you think that Paul would be even good? Did you say
Chris
he
Paul?
made free? Yeah, I'm just saying. I just got a question. Do you think he's good for that? I don't think so.
I honestly wanted him this season. Season because
this season would have been better.
What he did for Phoenix, he would have did that for us and then some. I think that he would have made Julius Randle a lot better in the postseason. And he plays defense. And I think he would have helped Coach Tibbs out on the court as a coach on the floor. You know what I mean?
And he did that with a player like Book. And Book is the kind of player that's going to pull up from anywhere. We don't have players like that.
You got to remember, Booker been
they get confused on what they're going to do.
I was about to say, Booker been doing that, and Julius Randle, this is first time coming out. It's his coming out party. So why I say he's a Robin? You could pay him, but we have to get another player. No, he deserves some bread.
He deserves some money.
But he's a Robin, meaning like he's a second or third option on a good team.
Shout out to Robert Paul.
You know why? Look, if we have to compare what division we got to come out of and what we coming out of the East, you got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving right across the bridge. How you comparing Julius Randle? Like, let's be honest. Like, just because this is our team, whatever, we need somebody else that is going to really come in and could hit that shot and play through the double team and score or pass to make the right decision or whatever. He wasn't making his shots. Yeah. So that proves he's not ready for that stage yet. Next year, will he be ready? I don't know.
I'm going to be honest, man. I'm going to throw it out there. And shout out to Tar. He said, what about Kyle Lowry? He's got championship experience and plays defense.
He's a role player.
He's a role player to stay his career, right?
He's a role player.
And I think his real dog, his dog on the court is behind him. That's what I'm saying, bro. Give me 2 Robins. Pay Lonzo.
Jay said it's nobody available. He's right. It's no real Batman available.
Pay Lonzo and Randle both. Pay them both $25 million a year. Give them a 3-year deal with a 3rd year as a team option, so you're not married to them.
Okay. So let me throw this out there.
I've been said take Lonzo. I mean,
all right. So let me
figure out who else we're gonna bring in.
Listen, man. Everybody's throwing out Chris Paul and Lowry, all these old players. Like, what about Dame Lillard? Right now, he says some interesting things after they lost to Denver. He basically said, we lost to them without their best players. And
that's a no-brainer. I would take him without even discussion.
So now you got to break a few eggs to get a guy like Lillard. You know what I mean? Now, what would that take? And would you be willing to give up a RJ Barrett?
Yes.
A Julius Randle if need be.
Yes.
And a couple of draft picks
for Dame.
Yes. Yes.
Give him RJ, and the next 10 years a first round pick.
The next what? 10 years? Yeah, Jay Remy is
Give
crazy.
him RJ, and the next 10 years of first round picks.
Yeah, the next 10 year for that's too much. That's too much. See, and this is where you got to get shrewd as a GM.
He was just being, he was joking. He's just saying give up what we got to give for him.
I knew what he was saying.
I'm saying give up what we got to give for him, but don't break up like the core that we got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Nick Man said he wouldn't trade for Dame. We should build through the draft. And college basketball has been, you know what I mean, it hasn't been the greatest these past.
Tell Nick Man to look at who we playing against in the East.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, man. Like I think that World Wide West and Leon Rose have to get really shrewd. In order for the Knicks to pull something off like this, they got to do it has to be a 3-team trade to where everybody can get a little bit of something from everybody. Like, for instance, like I drew up a scenario, right? Because everybody's been talking about us getting, they've been connected us to Dame Lillard and Bradley Beal for the longest. Now, first and foremost, before I even go into the scenario, would you go for a backcourt like Dame and Bradley Beal here in New York?
Well, that to me, Dame and Bradley Beal here, we gonna win, especially with some of the good players we got right now. That's not too much firepower because you got to look at how teams are designed today. Teams got 2 or 3 good players. You might have to mute him. Teams today are designed with, like I said, steals. You got to look at right across the bridge. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden. That's who we looking at.
That's what I'm
coming
saying.
Out of the East, we need some more firepower.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's be realistic. You got to look at what's going on. Yeah, every team has it.
So I threw out a trade scenario. You know, I be getting on my armchair GM tip sometimes, right? So I threw out a 3-team trade scenario, right? The scenario and it could be like I'm a Knick fan, Dream Knick fan, I'm orange and blue glasses, whatever. But I think that this was a fair trade that gave everybody what they wanted. You know what I mean? And gave certain teams cap relief. So for the Knicks, right? 3-team deal entailed the Knicks getting Dame Lillard and Bradley Beal in a deal that surrounded Julius Randle going to the Washington Wizards, Robert Covington going to the Washington Wizards, RJ Barrett going to the Wizards, along with Kevin Knox and Reggie Bullock. Now, the Portland Trailblazers would in turn get Russell Westbrook, Frank Ntilikina, Nerlens Noel, and Mitchell Robinson. And also, of course, you're going to sprinkle in some draft picks to make the deal fair for everybody. Because, of course, Washington is going to be losing talent because they wasn't winning with Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook anyway, and they was paying them hella money. Russell Westbrook's salary is crazy, and I think that Washington knows that Bradley Beal is going to end up leaving, and they don't want to be stuck with Russell Westbrook paying them over 40-something million next year. So for Portland, filling Dame's shoes with a guy like Russell Westbrook would make sense. What's your thought on that scenario? Do you think that's a lopsided trade or a fair trade?
It would kind of be
we getting rid of Julius, we're getting rid of RJ Barrett, and we're getting rid of Mitchell Robinson.
It's rough. We changing everything.
Everything.
Remember, I like to talk about our other episodes because when you think back over
shout out to Shy Legacy, that's a fact.
Those guys are true Knicks that we talking about giving away.
Yes.
Even Noel, he turned into be a true Knick.
Yeah,
I think we didn't even get to really see the real team with Mitchell Robinson and Noel playing together. And
yes,
I want to keep this team together, man.
Noel and Reggie Bullock are free agents this summer. But all right, so this is hypothetical.
Oh man, I'm bringing Noel. I want to pay Noel. Pay Noel.
So Todd asks, what would the starting lineup look like if that was a trade that was realistic, right? So your starting backcourt would be Dame Lillard and Bradley Beal. Your small forward would probably be not Obi Toppin. Obi would be at the 4. Your 3, hold on, who will be left? You got Quickly that'll still be left, and then the potential draft picks that they have this year. You know what I mean? They'll gut the team a little bit, but they'll have flexibility to add some young players via the draft. And then once it's a domino effect, once you add somebody like Dame Lillard and Bradley Beal, now the other guys that are unhappy, look at what Brooklyn did. The guys like Blake Griffin, they gonna want to get bought out by that team, and then they'll come to the Knicks for mid-level exceptions and stuff like that. So the core would be Dame, Bradley Beal, and Obi Toppin, and you still got Quickly coming off the bench. You know what I mean?
Now I see why somebody said stick through the draft. You know why?
Why?
Even when I was watching the game today, right, it just seemed like, the Knicks could have been playing better, and because it's just like the core we have, good defensive players. Then you bring in Dame and Bill, and then we don't have those other good players that we have for defense and rebounds no more. You know what I'm saying? And some of these players is good, but can we just bring in one player to fill that void that we missing instead of getting those 2 players to change our whole chemistry? That's the whole point. It's like, what, you just building that team? Why? Because we got to fight against a team like Brooklyn, right? That's your main point.
You have to, like the NBA, and this is what's going to happen, because if it doesn't happen here, it's going to happen somewhere else, because players are going to get salty because of the way that Brooklyn is going to run through the NBA playoffs this year. Because right now they killed Milwaukee by 39 today without James Harden. You know what I mean? Without James Harden, they killed Milwaukee. Like, you got to be real, man. Like, in order to beat a team like that, you gotta get players.
So what makes you think? What makes you think they're gonna want to come to the East then? Still,
who's that?
Whoever.
Who? Dame Lillard? You don't think Dame want to come to New York?
I said whoever, meaning like if the West is watered down now because Phoenix just beat the Lakers, the champs, right? Why would anybody want to come to the East and go against those guys if they wind up winning? And that's another thing I want to say. I don't want to change too much of the topic. I want to stay on this topic. I just want to give credit to those guys, because last time I was saying, like, are they going to win and all of that? And I just want to clean it up. They might win it, because they could win without Harden, honestly. Kevin Durant and those other role players on that team are stepping up, because I do this. I keep it real. I watch the game. I play the game. So I'm not going to ever act like I don't see what they're doing. They got role players now stepping up, playing good ball. Shout out to Blake Griffin. He's coming out of nowhere. What he's doing, nobody expected it. And those other guys, it's like they was sitting them, hiding them.
Oh, we got
to look. So the point I make, I probably know who that is. Who that is.
Knicks Talk Nation. Who's this?
It's Dave, man.
It's Dave.
What's up, Dave?
Hold on.
What's going on?
Company, I got help with me.
You got some help with you?
Yeah.
What up, brother Steel?
What's going on? Who this, D-Flan?
D-Flan.
D-Flan, what's up, brother? Talk about it.
What up, my nigga Hardwell?
Hardwell.
What up, Flan? How you, bro?
What up? How you?
We good.
Right. Coach of the year, huh?
Coach of the year, you know it. What's going on?
Coach of the year.
I'm loving that.
You loving that 39-point win today, huh?
Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go, Brooklyn.
So Flan, what you think about a scenario? What you think about a scenario of Dame Lillard getting traded to New York, man? You think that'll be a good look for the Knicks or not?
I just think they're gonna give up too much.
They gonna give up too much?
Yep, they're gonna give up too much, man. At least
Oh man, I don't know, man.
If I wasn't a Knicks fan,
I like Dame Lillard, but I don't think he's really good on defense.
I got a question.
Give up everything, but since I'm a Knicks fan, I like our core. I love Dame. I love Dame Dollar. I'm just struggling with the idea of it being Dame, and I don't know who else left in those jerseys next year.
I mean, they not gonna give up their core. I think that they gonna still be able to keep Obi Toppin, who they bought in because they originally planned on getting rid of Julius Randle. Let's be honest. Right. They had plans of getting rid of Julius Randle until he had this breakout season this year. That was their thinking when they drafted Obi Toppin, and they didn't draft a couple of other guys that could have probably helped us immediately this season.
Stills, I got a question. If we can't guard Trae Young, right? Who we gonna bring in to stop KD?
No, we ain't worried about stopping KD. You don't worry about guys.
No. I'm not saying that we have to just worry about stopping him, but if we talking about two players, you talking about adding players, right? So if you said Dame Lillard and Kyrie Irving could go at it. It's still KD. We still need another player. Can Julius Randle bring the same? If you watching the game, what's going on, it's players bringing what we need to be brought on that level. Julius Randle ain't really ready for that yet. You see what I'm saying? Is Dame Lillard ready? He is. You see what he's doing. But that we would still need another player.
What about
if we giving away? Look, if we giving away all those pieces, we would need another.
What about
Brad? All right, that's my question. Then can Bradley Beal stop KD?
Lonzo. Lonzo could play D on KD.
I don't know about that.
He ain't gonna hold him. He ain't gonna hold him.
The best answer to that is Tibbs.
He might drop.
Tibbs could probably put us in position to stop KD because he know how to play a team collective defense. I could probably give a good answer to that. But who's gonna stop if Steels want us to bring in these players and give up all our core, right? This changes our team. We don't have no more team defense no more, right? So we need a player then who's gonna replace that and could stop KD. It's nobody way.
Stop KD.
So it don't make sense to do it then. So it don't make sense to do it. We need to keep our team and just add another offensive weapon that can hit some shots.
We need a one. We need a one on offense.
I agree with Will. We gotta keep our team the way it is. Bring in another Robin. I'll take 3 Robins over a Batman and a Robin. Give me Lonzo Balls, another Robin to facilitate.
And who else? Who else, Jay? Give me one more, Jay. Give me one more guy.
2 more 3-and-D players.
D Flan, what you think about that, man? And shout out to Shaw Legacy. We can only make one blockbuster trade, and the next star got to come through free agency. That's a fact.
That's true, Shaw.
So
you're right about that.
All right. So let's say we make that blockbuster trade for Dame Lillard, and then the free agent that comes here is Kawhi Leonard.
I don't want to dream. I don't want to dream.
No, it's not a dream, but we just said it's a reality because you got to think about it. Kawhi Leonard was tied to New York because his uncle wanted him to play.
Kawhi Leonard ain't gonna leave the Clippers. He from LA because he just brought a house over there. He just did the whole banner in LA with the New Balance, whatever. Leave him over there. Leave him over there.
Steels, you just said something crazy.
It can happen. It can happen.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. Like you just made me smile in my dreams tonight thinking about
I don't think Kawhi Leonard will come to the Knicks.
Why not? Yo, Will, you gotta have faith, man. Yo, Flanagan, you hear this guy over here, man? Yeah, he acting like we wasn't here for about 7 weeks. Huh? It's upsetting right now.
No, but you gotta remember, Kawhi Leonard's still playing right now.
For real, Shaw Legacy.
So you got to go by what's going on, right? We talking about everything live action. So Kawhi Leonard's still playing right now with the Clippers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They already talking about getting them dudes they own arena and all that. You know what I mean? So, we got to focus on what we have, and this is why we got to focus on what we have because we overachieved. when you overachieve without Mitchell Robinson. When I watch Mitchell Robinson play, he reminds me so much of a Knick, because when you go in the paint like how Marcus Camby used to do, he used to have people second guessing on if they want to shoot when he was around. And you just imagine having him in the well in the game and just giving us one more offensive weapon. Like maybe like a DeRozan, maybe. I don't know. Somebody who can put the ball in the hoop.
You need guys that can shoot the basketball.
Randle did it, but he did it his first year, man. It's not sustainable yet. He's a Robin.
I like that pickup of Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson? Yes, he is available in free agency as well from Miami. He's a shooter.
Yeah, we went over the free agency.
Yes.
Wait, Duncan Robinson. Hold on. He's a shooter. Oh, that's the white
from
boy.
Miami. From Miami. Yeah, from Miami.
Oh, okay.
He hit more threes. He hit more threes in history.
Nah, he don't play no defense.
Nah, he ain't playing no defense.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. You gotta have guys here that are dogs, man, that play defense. Tibbs like those type of guys, man. And I think that they gonna try to hit a home run this year. They have to. If they could keep Julius Randle, that'd be great. But they need, and then you got to also take this into consideration. Would he be willing to come in and play Robin now after being Batman this season?
Yeah, that's the same thing like we said about messing up our chemistry. That's the same point.
But the reality is that he's not a one. He showed us that he's not a one. I don't care what you say. He's been in the league for 8-9 years now. He's not a number one.
He disappeared.
And you need somebody that's going to come in and clearly be a number one. No matter what the defense do, if they on bad games, the good players, great players still score 25 points. You need guys like that.
But he never been in the playoffs.
But it doesn't matter. So what? Not Kawhi. Look at Jason Tatum. Look at Jaylen Brown. They never made the playoffs before. They made their name in the playoffs. Playoffs.
But it's a difference still from
it's not a difference. That means that the difference is somebody's a star and somebody isn't a star. Period.
No, because my point I was gonna make with Tatum when you brought him up was because he couldn't bring his team out neither. Because when you look at really what's going on, like with Brooklyn, you have to have that star power, and that's the bottom line. If you don't, then your team has to know how to beat them with a team chemistry of play. It's just either the star power or beating them with a team. Like when you're a coach or you're a player, you know that's how it's going to go. So now we have a great team. A little bit more scoring power could bring us over the hump. And that's why I think we keep saying a couple Robins or XYZ, because there's no real Batman available.
So and shout out to Shy Luggage. He said Kawhi already had us on his list before he went to the Clippers.
Yeah, because of his uncle.
Yeah, exactly, because of his uncle. So now if we do bust that Dame trade after the Clippers get bumped out of the playoffs, it's a no-brainer. Like he's saying, I really think that something like that can happen. I don't think that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard is a great fit. And
y'all saw PG try and give Nokic's jersey and kept it moving.
Oh wow. Wow.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's
y'all
crazy.
Didn't see that?
Nokic did that. I mean, PG. Yeah, he did that.
And hold on one second, guys. Hold on 1 second. So we about to lose connection on the radio station, man. Make sure you tune in on YouTube. We're gonna continue this conversation on YouTube.
All right.
Make sure Make sure you check in with us on YouTube and on Facebook. We still gonna go live on the station.
We staying live.
All right.
We staying live.
So I can stay on the web.
No, we staying live. Well, we staying live right now. We off the station right now. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep the conversation going. You know what I mean?
He tried to give it to Luka, and Luka said, "Nah, I'm good," and handed it back to him.
That's crazy.
Luka's low key disrespectful.
That's disrespectful, man. I like Luka Doncic, but and shout out to Shy Legacy, because I didn't think about that scenario. Like I'm sitting here trying to do and figure out ways to get Bradley Beal in and Dame, but like he said, one blockbuster trade and then a free agency signing, and we just ran through the list. Kawhi is a free agent. He can become a free agent.
Right.
And he wanted to come here to New York. You know what I mean? So, that's something to watch. And that'll put us in the mix. You know what I mean? Flan, what you think about that, man? I know you like, man.
100% put in the mix.
I think that'll put them right in the mix. And then now,
that's what just imagine if the Clippers would have lost the last series.
Yeah, he would have been out of here. He would have been out of here. He definitely would have been out of here. Shout out to Knicks, man. He over there laughing his butt off, man, for real. You know what I mean? But listen, man, this is what we do right here. We gotta think outside the box, man. He said, Knicks man says Steals LeBron wants to recruit Dame. LeBron want to recruit everybody.
That's a fact. Shout
LeBron
out to Knicks man.
Steph Curry, he want to recruit Eddie and everybody. He want to be friends with everybody.
Now,
I come out of retirement. Huh?
Now, you got to keep it real, though. When you talk about the Lakers or the Knicks, the market is just as big as ours. So if they trying to get Dame could go to the Lakers too.
See, but here's the problem with that, right? And it's just like, this is why Kyrie didn't want to stay with LeBron. It's whenever things are going great, LeBron is getting all the praise. Oh, LeBron is this, LeBron is that. Once everything goes wrong, they're blaming his teammates. And I think that's why a lot of guys can't play with him. They can't play.
After he got bumped in the first round, he need help.
That's his first time, I think. I think that's his
first time getting bumped in the first round. It's different. If Dame Lillard go to the Lakers with AD and LeBron, that's a chip, man.
Father Time is undefeated.
That's a chip.
Father Time is undefeated.
Will, am I right? That was his first time getting bumped in the first time.
Yeah, first time. But AD's always injured. So, they blaming it on, they're going to blame it kind of sort of like what Stills just said, though.
This is what I mean.
Yeah, he kind of got a point with that because now I'm thinking about the narrative they pointing it to, like, oh, if AD wasn't hurt, they're not blaming LeBron. LeBron didn't do anything. LeBron gave up on his team. He left the game.
Game 6 minutes.
Stuff I never seen him do before.
Come on.
When you see that, it's time for him to retire. If he don't, Lillard got to go there. Another player's going to go there.
That was game 5.
Come on, still, you know how I feel about Braun, bro.
Hey, man.
I love Braun, too. We just got to keep it real. We got to call a spade for spade.
And shout out to Shy. He said that the Lakers
he's right, though.
Got the assets. We got to pull off a Dame trade. And that's a fact.
You know what? That's kind of true. We the only team that got all this money, though.
We got $50 million in cap space.
That's right.
We own all of our draft picks. And we own 2 of the Dallas Mavericks first round picks in the next 3 years.
And one of the Magic's
picks. So they got house money to play with, kid. They got movable pieces to make a Dame Lillard trade happen.
Yeah, Dame Lillard family members said, or his people said that they tired of him being in that market because he's so much of a big name. He need to be in a bigger market.
Exactly. Once he come to New York, forget about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I
y'all comfortable with Dame coming to New York? He's 32.
Of course, he's 32. I'll take his 30. I'll take a good 5 years from Dame right now. That's a fact. He got 3 good years.
Bro,
so give the Knicks players some credit because if that was to happen, that's because they see our players.
You got to stay with the youth.
You got to stay with the youth, but in today's game, you need star power to win. I'm sorry, RJ Barrett.
But look, still what I'm saying. Think about it. And again, I'm no GM, but I consider I feel like I know a lot about ball. They got $60 million in cap space, right? You pay Lonzo $30 million. You pay Lonzo $30 million. You give him a little 3-year deal, 2 years and 1 option. You pay 2 3-and-D players $15 million per year, right? Mm-hmm. That's your other $30 million. So that's your whole $60 million right there. You re-up on Mitchell. It won't go against your cap because your bird rights are included. Uh-huh. And then you take your trade assets, 3 years of first round picks, and you see who bites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dame Lillard. Like matter of fact, Dame Lillard is 30 right now. He's going to be turning 31 in July 15th to be exact. That's a fact. Shout out to Knicks, man. Yep. That's a fact.
That's why they say 6 hours.
Yep.
So I think the youth played You've played a big part because we overachieved this year, like we keep saying.
Y'all sound like y'all in Bronx Tales. The Youths. The Youths.
The
Talking about
Youths.
the Youths. The Youths.
Lee,
Barrett.
My cousin Vinny.
Yeah, my cousin Vinny. The
Youths.
You keep talking about these youths, man. We need winners.
Yeah, because it's only Toppin, Quickly, and Barrett that's really young. And for a real good player, you would give them up in a second.
Of course.
Yeah, to be honest.
Toppin. All right, OB. He ain't doing but nothing about nothing. And what's son name from Kentucky that was the big deal that they drafted?
Knox.
Get rid of him.
He's out of here. Nah, I mean, see, a lot of the NBA view those players the same way we view them as fans. So, people ain't gonna just take them and be happy with it.
And it's not just about assets either. You gotta look at the time and age we're in COVID time, where the salary cap just got lowered. A lot of those small market teams are broke and trying to get rid of the big contracts because they can't afford it. So you find a team that just wants to get rid of some big contracts and some big name players, and they don't even really want assets back. They just want to dump the money, and the Knicks could take the money, bro. There's so many
Portland trying to clean up. He got a good point with that.
Shout out to Jay Remy. He said it's COVID times. Man, they outside of New York City, man. They outside.
But still, you got to remember.
I'm talking about money.
No, still, he's talking about money.
No, I know that.
But still.
I know
what? That's a good point, because if we sitting with the mother load, we sitting with the bag over here.
Yes, we got the bag.
So we should be able to get at least one player.
Yeah.
I think all we need is one player.
We need one. Once we get that one.
Nah, we need more than one.
No, I'm talking about one good player. The rest could be more toughness, Flan. All right, let's get a good scorer and then another good, tough defender, rebounder type player. Add more Nick type players.
So shout out to Nick, man. He said that he heard that the Pelicans want to trade up for Jalen Suggs. What do y'all think about Jalen Suggs' game? Like,
he's nice. He's nice.
He's small.
Yeah, he's
nice.
Small. He's small. Yeah, he's small.
He coming in putting up points. I bet you that.
And they didn't win. Shout out to Dave. They definitely didn't win.
Well, Coach Kurt was the only one to pitch Baylor.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So
that boy good.
He good?
I don't know.
Good.
You gotta work hard.
The point guard from Baylor is tough. I like him. He played with heart. He remind me of Mateen Cleaves. He remind me of Mateen Cleaves, like that type of heart and that type of desire to win. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I
still like them signing Alonzo, picking up Tim Hardaway and a Kelly Oubre, 3-and-D players, and then using their money to try and get rid. Don't forget, a team like the Warriors or the team like Portland, they tied up to a lot of money.
What did Kelly Oubre do with the Warriors? With Steph Curry?
Bro, what can anybody do with the Warriors? What can anybody do with the Warriors?
I mean, he didn't do much.
You know how hard it is to get burned with the Warriors?
I mean, Klay Thompson is hurt the last time. I remember Draymond Green is a burger the last time.
Yeah. No, they needed Kelly Oubre.
Draymond Green played more point guard than anybody else on that team. He drained the ball off the court.
No, but Kelly Oubre, he's saying that Kelly Oubre had the door wide open for him and he didn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. He did nothing.
He did nothing.
Yeah, he did nothing.
He did nothing. I wouldn't want him neither. I wouldn't want him.
We got RJ Barrett already. We don't need Kelly Oubre.
You wouldn't want somebody on a 1-year deal that could shoot the three and play defense. That's all we need him to do. Period. Point blank.
We need that.
That's all. That's it.
He's basura.
But why he didn't do that on the Warriors? So I don't understand why.
What I mean. Yeah, if he couldn't do that,
Norman Powell.
He's better than he right now. He's playing good basketball. He did. I just watched him in the playoffs on Portland. He's playing good basketball.
Yes.
Tim Hardaway.
No way. No way.
Nah.
No way.
It's streaky for me, man.
No way.
Streak shooters. We already have the streak shooters. We got RJ Barrett. He's a streak shooter. You know what I mean?
He couldn't take over the game. He couldn't even take over the game in Dallas after he was up 2-0 in the Clippers series. He let them come back and beat him. You know what I mean? So that don't, you got to be a dog.
What about John Collins? What about John Collins?
He a dog.
John Collins is good. He's okay, but is he really an upgrade? Nah, I don't think so. Is he really an upgrade over Julius Randle?
No, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Julius Randle.
He played better than Julius Randle in that series.
But that's
and
what
he's
I'm saying.
Still playing good right now.
That's what I'm saying. The whole team stays. Everybody stays.
But listen, Jay, we asking if we bring in Collins, and I'm saying that Collins is still playing good right now in the second round of the playoffs. He just hit big threes last game to beat Embiid in them in the playoffs. He beat the Sixers. So he is. I think he is better than Julius Randle. Let me tell you why. Because before Julius Randle came out and played good this year, I already seen Collins playing good, and I already felt like Collins was a better player. Now, did Julius Randle come out of nowhere and do great? Yes, he did. I'm not going to take nothing from him. He got the most improved player award. That's a certain type of award. Collins already improved and been playing good before that.
Here's my thing, though, right? And another thing that we forgot to mention, the Knicks got killed on the boards. You want to know why? Because they had all 4 players on the perimeter and left Nerlens Noel to fend for himself in the middle, and Taj Gibson to fend for himself in the middle. Why? Because our big men was behind the 3-point line shooting threes. I'm not really a big fan of those guys that like to linger behind the 3-point line and shoot jumpers, man, because that leads to long rebounds, easy buckets the other way, and also us getting killed in the paint. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying about him. That's why I agree with you about him getting out coached, because they were sitting there shooting all them threes with them big men when their advantage was their size. Pause. They should have been attacking the paint all day long.
Nah, but Jay, that wasn't. Y'all keep saying that. That's not fair. You know why, Jay? Listen, they stacked the middle. That's why Randle got locked down. The 3-point shot was open. In playoff basketball, we remember what percentage we shot already. The Knicks was second or third in 3-point percentage, right or wrong, Stills?
Yes, they
so
were.
You got to remember, Jay, they have to still shoot that shot. They were supposed to make the shot. They didn't make the shot. This is what happens when they force the pass, a double team, pass to the open man. You got to hit open shots. It
100%.
showed what we had, man.
100%.
I saw what it was.
100%, man. But
we still got out coach.
Yeah, we did get out coach. We definitely did get out coach, Dave. All right.
All right, brother.
All
right, G.
Yeah, Will, I agree with you, bro. You're right. They should have been making those shots. And I'm just saying that's where in-game coaching comes into play, because Randall's going left. RJ Barrett's going left. Regardless, they're going left. But the point I'm making too is also turnovers. They weren't making any decisions on who's gonna shoot a ball until 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Poor offensive.
That's because they kept going to Julius. That was the problem.
Kept the ball up top, like you're starting your offense behind the 3-point line, and then he's backing down in the double and triple teams. Like that right there just had me disgusted.
And then they're forcing passes and they're turning the ball over with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah.
The team looked around and said, "We've been giving this guy the ball. He's been making these shots for us. Maybe he's gonna wake up." They kept giving him the ball. I seen what happened. They shouldn't have did that.
That's the difference between good and great, man. That's the difference between good and great. Good coaches make adjustments, and I'm not saying Tibbs is a bad coach, but he got out-coached by Nate McMillan, man.
There was no other option. Who else was gonna come up? Derrick Rose gave us all them points. Nobody expected that. Let's be honest. You remember other show? You said Barrett. What was he doing? He was nowhere to be found. Yeah. Let's be honest. Where was these players? They wasn't ready for that stage yet, and it's okay. It was experience, but let's be honest. If you've never been on that stage before, now Trae Young is doing it on the stage. He only been in the league a couple years. Let's be honest. No rookie or no second-year players really doing that like that. Only a few. Porter, Trae Young. We can name them on one hand.
Yeah.
You need the experience in order to learn.
Yeah, Trae Young definitely got 3 years in the league.
Yeah, 3 years with the bubble.
Yes.
draft night.
Yes,
Luka too.
Yes.
Luka's on his 3rd year.
Yes. But I really now I'm really stuck on this whole Kawhi Dame scenario, man. I think that would be a sneaky move. And Todd said, "What about De'Aaron Fox from Sacramento?" I don't think Shaq was letting him go. Shaq and him not letting him go. Yeah, they not. They gonna keep it.
They said he's like a 2.0 Morant. He's not really, he's not really.
Shout out to Nick, man. Yes, sir. It's 11 o'clock. We still on, baby. We going all night tonight, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fellas. Fellas, on that note, I gotta get my 13-year-old in bed. But still, I appreciate the invite. I want to apologize just for me moving around, because to be honest with you, I did kind of forget what I'm a single dad of a 13-year-old. So the next time you invite me on, I'm gonna apologize for my background. I'm gonna make sure I'm sitting down, not moving, in a quiet box by myself. So I just wanted to apologize for being a little unprofessional and kind of moving around. So I just wanted to apologize for that.
No question.
Hopefully you invite me back next week and the week after because I'm ready.
We got some big things planned for the station, man. I'm gonna keep you in tune with everything. You heard?
Yeah, and man, I appreciate the conversation as well, my man. Appreciate it.
No doubt, bro. Nice having you.
Yes, sir.
You guys have a safe night. Let me go get this little boy in bed before he keep playing with me.
All right. Woo, shout out to Jay Remy. Word up. All right, bro. Word. Yeah, man. But it's interesting, man. It's gonna be an interesting off season, man. And I really now I'm thinking about that Kawhi scenario, man. That's a scenario that could really happen, man. Because I don't think you want to know why he may also leave too. And I think a lot of people are forgetting to mention this. Remember, they had the situation earlier when somebody was basically trying to get some money out of him. And they was trying to say that his family was taking money under the table to get him to the Clippers and all of that. And he was like, this is why guys don't want to come back to their hometown, because people would try to get next to him and get money out of him. So I think that kind of like reinforced why he may possibly want to leave from LA. You know what I mean? That's just something to think about.
What about if they win the clip?
They win the chip? I don't think they win the chip.
Yeah,
it's hard to say what he gonna do if he's still playing. I just think that we did so good. We could kind of guarantee we're gonna get a good player, and that's a good feeling alone. Because we were so far away from that, like last year. Like we felt like nobody wanted to come.
Yeah,
we felt like we was tainted. Everybody kept talking about Dolan and the chemistry. So to make this huge leap, I could say if we could guarantee 1 or 2 players, one good player, one decent player that fit in, that's all we really need.
I mean, I feel you, man. But right now, we starving for something, man. And right now, we got all the pieces in place to really make some noise, man. Like, I get a lot of fans want to build through the draft, build through young players and all that. But it's certain young players that you can build through. It's young players like Luka Doncic you could build through. You could build around Trae Young. Like, our young players, let's keep it a buck. Like, they're okay. You know what I mean? They're decent players.
You just said they was 3 years here still, so we would have to give. We said this before. If our players is doing so much in only a year or two, like some of the players we have, then we have to look at them a little longer to see what they could do. Because if Trae Young, it took him a couple years to do that. Luka Doncic, same thing.
Mm-hmm. No,
we making huge steps.
Luka Doncic came straight out the gate, killing.
But you know why though? We know why. He's a Euro player. He's been doing that. He's been pro since 13. Yep. That's a difference. Cool. We have to either, we got some players coming in like that, I heard, but we either have to draft like that or like I think Quickly is making huge steps already. Even Obi Toppin is making huge steps already. If you look at the first year, second year players, they're making huge steps. Look what we did. We made the 4th seed. Nobody expected it. So we got to give those dudes credit.
So, and to answer Nick's man question, D Rose is definitely coming back. I think that Tibbs want him back. I think that he wants to come back to New York because he's comfortable here. And the Shai Legacy's point, he said Kawhi left that extension on the table for a while now. and it's a reason that he didn't sign. That's a fact. I think it goes back to the whole controversy. I'm telling you, they was trying to say that, you know what I mean? It was some tampering going on, man, and like people trying to bribe people to get him to come to the team. It's the reason why Doc Rivers got fired. You know what I mean? It's a lot of smoke in LA, man, and I just think that Kawhi, the type of person that he is, he's probably going to dip up out of there, man. Dave, what you think about that, man?
I don't know. I think depending on whether they win or not.
I don't think the Clippers going to win. I don't believe in Ty. And then that's another thing. I don't think that Tyronn Lue is a good coach at all.
He got to be a good coach to come back and win that series. He was down like that. Still, you got to give that man credit. Still, he was down 2. He went on the road, and then he told the press conference. He told the people, "It ain't nothing. We just got to go and win 2." I was thinking about that the other day, saying like that man sat there on the news and said, "Okay, we got to go out there and win," and he did it. So at the end of the day, you got to give credit when credit is due. You can't say he's not a good coach if he come back in those type of situations, because Luka was killing him. Dallas shot the ball so well. It was like kind of freakish, if you ask me. They were shooting the ball like they was at home in those first 2 games. So shout out to the Clippers for coming back to win. Shout out to Lou for bringing this team back. Now, you know why I give him a shout out, Stills? Because you could see when star power came in, Kawhi Leonard did when he hit those tough shots, but Lou made the adjustments that was needed. You see, Beverly wasn't. Look, watch this. You ain't see Beverly no more. Nope. He made adjustments that you could tell was coaching moves, and that's why you got to respect his handle. Far as him leaving, I do agree with you guys. He do have a chance, possibility he could leave, depending on if they win or not. That has and you don't know if they could win because it's wide open right now.
Yeah.
He's that good. He's that good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it remains to be seen, man. But I can't wait till the season's over. Do I think that the Clippers have a chance to win it all? I don't think that they could beat Phoenix. I don't even think that they could beat Utah. You know what I mean? So I don't think
beat Phoenix.
Huh?
They could beat Phoenix.
You think the Clippers could beat Phoenix?
Or Utah, because
they're gonna beat them.
Because exactly. One of those teams are gonna take each other out, and that's gonna make it easier. So if the Clippers come through on this next series, they good.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, because the other teams are gonna have to take each other out. Still, it's like canceling each other out. Still,
I'm rooting for them to lose. That's for sure. I'm rooting for them to lose, baby.
I think regardless, it's our time to win. Stills, it's our time to win as far as Knicks and Knicks fans. It's our time to win. So even if we don't get Kawhi, we're gonna get a very good player, and that's just it. So many.
We don't need
whoever fits with us. You know what I mean? I've been saying we don't need nobody to mess with the chemistry. So you know I understand what you mean by that. But we're gonna get a player who could be our Batman.
Now, and then you also the other thing that you got to take into consideration, whoever comes here, they got to be able to take tough coaching, because Tibbs is a tough coach. A lot of today's players, they don't like hard coaching. Even in the AAU circuits, like in street ball, you talk too hard to these players, you lose them immediately. You know what I mean? So a lot of these players,
Westbrook.
I love Westbrook. I wanted Westbrook to come here from the gate.
You know, I think he's good because he's a special mix. You know what I mean? Like he brings so much to a team, and I think we was missing kind of what the
grit.
He brings that.
The grunge, the dude that's gonna get in the mud.
I would love him.
Even though he dressed with the tight clothes and everything,
whatever.
When he get on the court, he's coming at you like he's coming out the mud. You know what I mean? And that's what we need. That's what New York gravitates to, for sure.
I would take him.
I would definitely take Westbrook, but his money is a totally different situation. But right now, my eyes are set on Portland, and shout out to Shy Legacy, because we definitely said Kawhi earlier, and I was thinking the same thing. Like, damn, maybe Kawhi might stay in LA, but just looking back at the situation, Like he said, he left that extension on the table for a while. The rumblings was already there that his uncle wanted him to come to New York when he left Toronto. And the fact that it's a lot of drama surrounding him right now, I think he might get low from LA because he don't want all the pressure that comes with going back home, man, because he's a quiet dude. He had, what was his first car? He had his first car that he had in college with him for a very long time. Like, he's not one of them flashy guys, man. So I think that he would fit right here in New York, man. Hopefully. The only thing that comes with Kawhi is the load management thing. And I think that the New York fans won't take a liking to that. You know what I mean? I think that they'll kill him in the media for that, for load management. But other than that, man, he'll be great.
And if he want to lay low, why would he want to come here? Now, I don't want to be against it because I want him to. But I'm just thinking, if the media put everything under a microscope, why would he want to come here if he want to lay low key?
I mean, think about it. LA is no different from New York. It's just the other side.
Yeah, but
that's
the
a big
Clippers,
media capital as well.
But the Clippers is like a B team.
Nah, but that's still Hollywood. You're still in LA.
Yeah, but even though the Knicks ain't winning, we still like an A team in New York. Because we're still being talked about. I mean, I wish he would come here. He's a perfect mix. He's a defender. He can hit the shot. He plays smart basketball. He's a perfect fit. He could be.
He doesn't need to dominate the basketball. That's a fact.
What about Jimmy Butler? There's no way they let him go, right?
I'm good on Jimmy Butler. So now
Tibbs players, man.
Yeah. Tibbs is a certain type of coach, man. I don't think a lot of guys can deal with it. And then if you bring in Jimmy Butler back here with Derrick Rose here,
that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you see what happened in Chicago. So that definitely won't happen. Shout out to Dave. For real, man. But I don't know, man. It remains to be seen, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait for free agency. I can't wait for the season to be over. Knicks overachieved. So be it. But the good thing is we got all our cards, man. We got all of our players. We got young talent and we got money. We got a lot of money. 50 to 60 million in cap space, man. So we'll see what happens, man. You know what I'm saying? But we don't want to give everybody everything this week, man. You know, we want to make sure everybody tune in next week. You know what I mean? Every Monday night, starting at 10 p.m. Knicks Talk Nation Radio. You know what I mean? The season is over, but the show must go on until next season and every season beyond that, man. So don't forget, make sure you check in with us, man. Check us out every week on Bars and Hoops Radio from 10 to 11. You know what I mean? We got a bunch of lineups of shows, man. Dave, tell them about your show on the station.
First stop to next stop. Monday is 4 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Yes, indeed. 4 p.m.
All sports.
Yes, sir. And tell them about the golf outing, man, for anybody out there that's interested in coming out and playing 18 holes.
July 11th. We're going to have our first annual golf tournament at the Clearview Golf course from 1:30. It's a shotgun start. That's Sunday, July 11th. It's $90. Anybody interested can get in contact with me. Or you call Bars and Hoop Radio.
Yes, sir.
Talk to Steele.
Yes, sir.
My number is 646-729-5732.
Yeah.
Shout me out. Anybody interested? Greatly appreciate it.
All right, cool. And shout out to Todd, man. Todd in the chat, man. Shout out to Shy Legacy. Shout out to Robert Parr. Shout out to everybody that showed love in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody listening live on the station and tuning in on Facebook. Again, this is Steele's the Great. Hardwell. Shout out to D. Flan for checking in. Shout out to my man Dave on the line, man. We appreciate you, man. And we will check in with you guys next week.
Steele's the Great, man. Another great episode.
Another great episode in the books, man. And y'all know how we do it, man. So on that note, we say peace.
Peace.
With the Knicks, I mean, that's a no-brainer because they have, multiple pieces and they have a great coach.
And now, please welcome your New York Knicks.
New York City. We back. The Big Apple. NY. The Knicks are back. Staten Mellow. This dedicated to my city, New York. Official kings in the court. Reach with a ball, a hard lesson gets taught. So bring your skills to the nearest playground. No clown around. Catch a helmet in a minute on a New York playground. The Big Apple's what they call it for short. And basketball is our sport. We play for keeps and never settle for short. So bring your game when you come to my town. We snatch and crowd. You get embarrassed on the court after you shook to the ground. You get respected when you prove to get down. So say the joke for the clowns. And NYC, we known to go a few rounds. This is a city where you're forced to go hard. You'll get booed out of Dodge and shown the door being the weakest on squads. Rucker Park and summer nights, they stay live. Brothers play for the pride and bragging rights on who's the king of NY. So grab the pill and prepare to go hard. Pick your 12-man squad. Orange and blue, better believe we go hard. This for my city, New York, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. Down at the Garden, MSG, it be live. The Knicks are back in it's time. The Razor banner next to Ewing's retired. 33 knock degrees, it's Novocaine shooting threes. Wrap the belt around his waist, he got the cannon set to squeeze. From downtown, forget the man to rebound. He said New York is whack, approving facts, so Charles is a clown. My squad stacked, that's a fact, and we built for combat. Some of you cats and commentators be straight haters like Shaq. I dunk on you like Stat, then it's a rap with Coach Woody at the helm and Jason Kidd got his back. With Shumpert Smith on standby to attack, so watch your back on alley-oops, protect your dome, I share a poster with cats. The brother Mello, he go hard in the paint. They playing deep, but they can't contain the boy, it's Willie Ball in the paint. Takes more than for you to be the toast of the town. And Knickerbocker basketball, the greatest city around. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me. Now we got the Nets that move into town. New York and Brooklyn showdown, but NYC has always been a Knick town. Orange and blue, we rock the colors with pride. Let's take it back to Walt Clyde and Earl LeBron going to work on you guys. The UN era was live. It started in 85. The Twin Towers would devour you guys. R.I.P. to Dave the Butcher. We could never overlook a Knick legend up in heaven smiling down on our future. Bernard King, he was a scoring machine. He was a human wrecking ball, straight up destroying your team. There was no defense you could draw in the scheme. From post-game to mid-range, you had no chance. He would just shatter your dreams. Rod Strickland, Action Jackson, John Starks, he played with passion. Larry Johnson, Oak and Mason did a lot of party crashing. Or any team who tried to step to NY. And if you put the jersey on, you better rock it with pride. This for my city, New York City where it's gritty. Yeah. For my city, never pretty. New York City, sing it with me. Yeah. For my city, New York City where it's gritty. NYC, for my city, never pretty. Yeah. New York City, sing it with me.
We all have the same goal, and that's to try to win a championship.